Hey guys, what's up? It's Clever Techie, and in this video we're gonna learn everything about PHP loops. Alright, so there's four kinds of PHP loops. The first one is a for loop, and this loop consists of a word or keyword for and three expressions inside the round brackets. So the first expression, we set the value of the counter, usually to 0, and then we separate that with a colon followed by the second expression. Now the second expression is a conditional expression, and when that expression evaluates to true, the loop exits. And then the expression 3 is a modifier, and usually we increase a modifier or modify it in any other way to keep the loop going. And inside the curly brackets we have the actual statements, which is the code that will be executed over and over as the loop runs its iterations. Okay, so that's the for loop. Next one is a for each loop, and for each loop is usually used to loop through the associative arrays, but you can use it to loop through any other array or use it for anything else as well. So you usually have your associative array, then you use the as keyword followed by the key, which is the variable that will be storing the array's key, and then you use the rocket operator followed by the value, and the value variable is going to store array's value, and that's if you're iterating through associative array. And then also inside the curly brackets you have your code. Okay, so the next one is the next two are while and do while loops. Okay, so the while loop, the keyword while and then expression, and the expression runs until it's until the expression is true. So in a do while loop, you have a do, and then the while, the expression is evaluated at the end of the statement, unlike the while loop. So in this case, in the case of the do while loop, the loop is going to be iterated at least once because the expression is evaluated at the end of the loop. So the first iteration is always guaranteed. Okay, so those are the four loops. Now let me show you the actual syntax. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this code here that I've prepared and use the PHP tag first. Okay, so basically what it is it's the code just to read the files from the directory called movies, and then the scan dir function reads that directory into an array called files, and then I use the array underscore div function to get rid of the double dot and the dot, which is what happens when we use the scan dir function. And then we use the array values function to reset the array back to its original key values. So on the right side you can see the final result of using all these functions, and all it is just a numeric array with a bunch of file names in it. So now I'm gonna use our for loops to iterate through this array and using these four different loops. So first of all, the for loop, I'm gonna say count keep plus plus, and all of these arrays are just gonna do the same exact thing. I just want to show you the syntax of these loops. Okay, so now I'm looping using the for loop, and the count function just counts the array elements. In this case it's gonna return 8 because there's a total of 8 array elements including the 0. And then we set the counter to 0, then we set the condition, run until basically the key is less than 8, and then increase the key by 1, and then keep printing the array with the key inside, and the key is going to be increased by 1 every time, starting with 0. And I've inserted the br constant so that we get the end of the line break statement in the browser. So as you can see, it's printing out all the file names. Okay, so now I'm gonna use a for each loop to accomplish exactly the same thing. and this is the syntax, just like was illustrated, and just gonna do the same exact thing. And this is gonna output these files again. Now I'm gonna use a while loop, and before using the while loop, I'm gonna set the key to 0, and then say while key count files. So it's basically just exactly the same thing with just a little bit of syntax adjustment, and then key plus plus is gonna be at the end here, and I'm gonna insert the br constant so that we can clearly see what's going on. So that's printing the files again, and then lastly I'm gonna use the do while loop and also set the key to 0 here, do, and then the expression files key and br. So same code, and key plus plus, and then while key less than count files, and then don't forget to end that with a semicolon, and insert another br constant here. Okay, so these are the 4 loops. First one is the for loop, next one is the for each, followed by the while loop, and then finally do while. So these are the 4 PHP loops, and that's how you use that syntax to loop through the numeric array using each and every one loop. And that's it for the PHP loops. If you guys found this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Clever Techie out.